Hello, I'm Marky Dragon, also known as Marcus Eikenberry in real life, and welcome to my backyard. It's a real jungle back here. So this is my backyard. This really is. And it is quite a jungle back here. In fact, I'm getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. It's very swampy back here. It's dry at the moment, but we have thunderstorms coming in today, and it's going to be all wet again. Oh, and by the way, this is Frostmorn. So Frostmorn here, this thing is 16 pounds. It's really heavy, and it's the real deal. And I am giving this away to one of our subscribers. So subscribe to our channel, and this could be yours. And let me just set it down here because it's really heavy to hold. So I have big news today, and that is that the EU has stated that if you downloaded your game, you can resell it. This is the High Court in the EU saying this, and let me give you some better details here, because this, just think about this. Let me ask this question here really quick. With this decision, does this mean that you can legally resell your World of Warcraft account, or your Diablo 3 account, or your whatever game account, or what, you know, does that mean that you can now legally sell it if you're in the EU? That Blizzard has to allow it? Or all the other game companies that have games where you play them in the EU? Where they have a presence there? It may mean that. So anyway, what we have here is that the Court of Justice of the European Union has ruled that publishers cannot stop you from selling downloaded games. And it's no matter what end-user license agreement you agree to. This has been going through the courts there, and this is where it stands right now. So, more specifically, an author of software cannot oppose the resale of his used licenses, allowing the use of his programs downloaded from the internet. You know, with all of these massive multiplayer games, these are licenses. So now I'm not a lawyer here, so maybe I'm just talking out my ass, but I have a strong understanding of all of this, and I think that this has huge ramifications for the game companies and for the customers. So the court said that exclusive rights of distribution to a copy of a computer program covered by its license is exhausted on its first sale. And let's see, the ruling means that gamers in the European Union member states are free to sell their downloaded games, whether they're on Steam, Origin, or another digital platform, no matter what the end-user license agreement is that was signed. So this sounds to me to be retroactive. So it also says, therefore, even if a license agreement prohibits transfer, the right holder can no longer oppose the resale of the copy. And this is going to go on for other things too. There was a case that I remember of Adobe not wanting any of their products resold or the licenses resold. And back in the, I think it was in the 90s, when I was working at a computer store, they were buying used copies of different Adobe products, and then they were reselling them. You know, so they'd buy them for 100 and they'd sell them for 200 or whatever, and it was a $500 program. Well, Adobe came in and laid down the law, and we were forced to stop selling those. And so it was kind of an interesting time. Let's see here. So the ruling also suggests that if you have bought a license from a game off of your friend, that you're within your rights to download it from the publisher's website. Therefore, the new acquirer of the user license, such as the customer of whatever, they are the lawful acquirer. Here's another thing. What about Steam? Valve, you know? The question now is what are the game companies going to do? So this could be very hairy. And what this boils down to is the fact that you may very well be able to buy, sell, or trade your game account for another game account or for money, and be totally within your rights to do so. And not have it be a bannable offense. which, if that is the case, I hope that what happens here is that game companies embrace it. And so maybe what they should do is now let me just give a suggestion here of a way to resolve this, along with not doing undue work by the game companies. What if there was a paid account transfer system? Basically, something like Blizzard's Real Money Auction House, or something of that sort that allowed people to put their game account up for sale, another purchaser could buy it, both of them could run through a process via the game publisher to verify everything and to securely do the trade. You know, this could be an opportunity to reduce scamming and such, you know, and it could be used as a way to verify accounts as they are brought into their system, made available for sale. There could be some sort of verification that happens to prove that the seller is the actual person who is the original purchaser or who owns the rights to that copy of the game. And then they could also take a cut. You know, why not take a cut like the auction house, or why not charge $50 for the transfer of it and have it be a legitimized system that facilitates allowing this transfer to take place? Because it doesn't say that you have to, allow it all for free. What I'm reading here is that it just says that they have to make it available. And it is not unreasonable for the game company to charge a premium to do this service. And if the service can extend it beyond the third-party account seller sites or just person to person and bring in security to actually secure that account and guarantee its transfer and guarantee that it won't be recalled. Did you guys see the Diablo 3, the account buyer interview that I did, where the guy who purchases, a gazillion WoW accounts, and he talked about recalls happening all the time, and about how everybody keeps copies of the ID and everything from the original purchaser so that it can be recalled if necessary, and all of these people having that person's ID, we could get rid of all of that. I don't think that it's unreasonable that if I want to buy an account that I pay the new account price. And so for Diablo, that's $59.99 in the US in dollars. And so I don't think it's unreasonable at all that we pay that amount to transfer it and to do it securely. I really think that could be a good deal. Now, there's a lot of accounts that are not worth as much. So there's a lot of things on Steam that sell for $5 and $10. And in fact, there are some things that sell for free. Like, how will the free-to-play games handle this? Maybe it's just that they don't care and that they let it go. But at the same time, there's going to be a lot of issues with customer service on this. And the customer service issues are what eats up the profit. The more times that they have to touch your account for customer service issues without taking any more money in, the more their profit margin is eaten up. And so what it has to be is a certain number of people are satisfied and never have to email in for anything, never need any support in order to make money. Because there are other ones that, I've had people tell me that they've gotten their account hacked 3 times and they've gotten it back 3 times. And, so each time that happens, there needs to be an investigation. They have to prove that, it was taken out of their control and that it wasn't by, their wanting, their doing and everything. And I would imagine that at one time that the cost of it, the cost of the software, is then they've lost maybe all of their profit, because it really takes a lot of time and energy to verify these things. I could see a customer service rep at any one of these game companies spending a half hour working on an issue like this. And if you want good customer service, it costs money. So that may be one of the reasons why some of the game companies have such horrible customer service, is because they just can't afford to spend the money in that area and would rather lose you as a customer than to make you happy, which is really a sucky scenario, but that is what it is. So anyway, I think that this could be turned very positive. I hope that the game companies embrace this and come up with a method to go ahead and do this. I would say that some of the reasoning behind the original stuff of not allowing buying, selling, and trading of this stuff is really brought up by the lawyers. And the lawyers are the ones who originally said that, well, we're scared of this. We think that you have legal exposure here, and so you shouldn't be doing this, or you shouldn't allow it. And that's how it originally in Ultima Online kind of got nixed. And so, because before that there was no policies on that, and so basically the lawyers do their job to scare the game companies into making sure that they make good decisions and everything. And actually, maybe I'm using too strong of words. It's the lawyer's job to strongly advise of when a game company, game publisher has exposure and where they run risks. I know that for myself, if I have something that will benefit the customer about our store or whatnot, and I've done this several times with the companies I've built in the past, that if it you weigh how much legal exposure you have as opposed to how much benefit there is to the customer, and if you get customer happiness up, then it may very well be worth it, the few lawsuits that you get on the other end. And with those lawsuits, you may just settle them or whatnot. You wouldn't talk about them because that would encourage other people to bring up lawsuits, but you may just settle them. And so that's a little bit of the history behind why this thought of that all of this stuff isn't allowed, is because legally there's some issues with it, especially when a virtual item like the sword in game has real world value, and then there's a server hiccup and it gets missing, deleted, whatever, corrupted, or your character gets corrupted, or your account gets hacked, and then they try and sue you because it was hacked, and most of the hackings happen because of customer insecurities, not because of game publisher insecurities, but it costs the game publisher money to defend themselves every time anyway, whether or not they're right or wrong, and such. So all this legal mumbo jumbo, I hate it. I really wish that the game companies would embrace this, make authorized methods for how this can work, and then take it to the next level and exceed our expectations, provide great customer service. Yes, do charge us for it, but make the entire experience of playing your games a better one. I'm Marky Dragon. Take care. Oh, damn. That's gonna leave a mark. I don't know. Hit myself in the neck.